Okay, good morning everyone. Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please type yes in the chat. Nice, thank you. Thank you everyone. So in a few minutes we are going to start. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarification. So let's start, guys. Today's we are going to talk about nouns and articles during our Olympiad camp. Day 4 is today. So before we start and proceed to the lessons, let's agree on some terms. First of all, let's not spam in the chat for all of our convenience. And the second, let's work in these terms. First, I'll explain the topic, and after that, you will have the opportunity to ask your questions, and then we are going to take small test, and after the test, we will review those questions all together. And this is for one section, and each section we are going to continue like this. And after that, at the end of the day, we can say, I'll try to gather all the results and make some kind of rating, so to see who performed best during our today's lesson. So I hope everybody was able to join the stream. So now let's move on. So our today's agenda is, what are we going to learn? The topics are types of nouns, plurals, countable and uncountable nouns, word formation, and we will concentrate on noun formation from adjectives and verbs. And also we are going to review definite and indefinite articles and take some tests. So briefly, these are the topics that we are going to review. So if everybody is okay, then let's move on. So first of all, we start with nouns, and we need to first of all define what is a noun. And this is the definition what Cambridge Dictionary gives for noun: a word that refers to a person, place, thing, event, substance, or quality. So you see, there's a really wide variety of things that we use nouns for. As Olympiad students, you will need nouns in the future, especially at the 10th and 11th grades when you take IELTS test, SAT test, because you have to use academic language. And during academic language, you better use nouns, or we can say notions, but not try to explain it. When you use a notion correctly, then it means that you understand the notion and your level is higher. So today, first of all, we are going to start with the types of noun. The first type, the first big type of nouns, it's common nouns. What are they? These are general words. For example, general word boy, country, city, student, or anything we can say about which we talk in general. This is for common nouns. For proper nouns, these are the names of specific things. It can be the day of the week, like Monday, or a country, Kazakhstan, or a person, or your teacher, Dostan, Mr. Dostan. And from these two big types, we also have other smaller, which can include both of these types. The next is concrete nouns. So concrete means, from Russian you can also understand, it's something that you can physically see, touch, feel, or breathe. We can say something physical, which you can have physical contact, like dog, building, coffee, water, or etc. And after physical, we have abstract nouns, which we cannot physically contact. These include mostly emotions, feelings, or notions that do not exist in physical world, like truth, friendship, danger, and humor. And there is also another group of nouns, we call them collective nouns, which gather together certain people or things, like family, team, or government. And also, there is also another group which we will review separately. It's count and count nouns, they are called. We will review that as countable and uncountable nouns. So let me review if there are any questions so far. We agree that you are going to ask the questions after the when I allocate you time. No, the final is not tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of the exam lessons, the day after tomorrow. So let's move on. So now we are going to review the plural nouns. First of all, all of you know that in English, in order to make plural of nouns, we use suffix s. So the small dash near s means that it's added at the end of the sentence. So it means s is a suffix. So an example can be book and books. So the next type of words of nouns, let's clarify this, of nouns. There are only plural form of nouns in English. No adjective, no verbs can be plural. Only nouns are plural. So es, we add es at the end nouns when they end with s, double s, x, ch, and sh. For example, it can be bus. We have bus and added buses. Fox, foxes. This another way to make plural is the nouns ending with consonant plus y. And in this situation, we add ies. So we have body, D is a consonant, Y. And so we have Y changed into I, and it becomes bodies. Party, parties. The next type is nouns ending with vowel plus Y. For example, boy. In this situation, we just add S, suffix S. So it becomes boys and plays. So one more. The nouns ending with O can be potato, tomato. In this situation, we add ES. So let's proceed. The interesting part comes yet. Plural of nouns. We have just said when O, we add ES, but it's English, and when there is English, there's always exceptions, so you need to keep in mind. So nouns ending with vowel plus O. For example, video, we just end S, videos. Or when we have double O, it can be taboo, it becomes taboos. Or zoo, zoos. Abbreviations. What is an abbreviation? When we shorten a word, then in this situation we add just S. For example, photograph, it's a full word. If we shorten it like abbreviation photo, in this situation we add just S, photos. And also for musical instruments, we add only S, it's cello, cellos. And for proper nouns, Navajo becomes Navajos. There is one more. If the nouns end with F or FE, then F changes to V and we add ES. Scarf becomes scarves, wolf becomes wolves. But as we said, there is always exceptions. Chiefs, roofs, cliffs, safes. So nothing changed for this word. So sometimes in English we just better try to remember the words. And the last point for plural nouns, there are a lot of words taken from Greek and Latin in English. So in this situation, in order to make plural of those, we take Latin or Greek suffixes. So how it works, let's see. Basis becomes basis. Terminus becomes termini. Criterion becomes criteria. I think all of you know the word criteria. Actually, it's plural. Criteria for something. So let me see if there are any questions, then we move on. Yeah, there are a lot of other words also. So the plural of compound nouns. Let's first of all remember what is a compound noun. There is a noun, and compound noun consists of more than one word. So it can be a two-word of different parts of speech, for example, word, noun, and adjective, or it can be a word and preposition. So we're going to review all of them. The first of all, if there are two nouns in compound noun, corkscrew, then we add S or ES to the second noun. So it becomes corkscrews. Sorry, there is a, now let me, corkscrews. If, it will change soon. If there is adjective plus noun in compound adjective, then we add to the noun. We always add to the noun if there is noun. If you remember, we said plural, there is only plural form of nouns. So steering wheel becomes steering wheels. And if there is a preposition in a compound noun, or if there is noun and other part of speech, then we add to the first noun or to the noun. For example, doctors of philosophy. Philosophy is also noun, but it's separate, and so we add it to only doctor. So passersby. We don't add s to the preposition. And we add at the end of the word if there is no nouns. Run is a verb, Away is a preposition and they're together, but it doesn't matter anyway. As there is no noun, we end plural s suffix at the end. And as always, there is something irregular in English, and in this situation, it's irregular plural nouns. Here is the list of some irregular plural nouns. Uh, take a time to read them. Okay, if you are ready, then before we take the test, if you have any questions, please ask now. Any questions? I guess there are no questions, so then let's proceed to our first test. So when you write the test, please read the description. Also write the answers as it should be correctly. Please stop writing in the chat in order not to miss the link for the test. Good luck. I think 5 minutes for this test will be enough. Okay, guys, now I will correctly review the test, but let me check it, please. Okay, guys, the test is almost ready. I have changed something. Here's the new link for the test, guys. Use it to retake it. Thank you, guys. You are so kind. Yes, I've changed it. No, I've created a new link, so don't worry about it. Yes, you will need to write it again, but we have to do it. Thank you for your understanding, guys. Please, you may take the new test. Something is wrong. The problem is with the names, I see. Try it now, please. I'm really sorry, guys. Okay, guys, let's agree on this. Can anybody take this test properly? If not, if everybody has a problem with it, let's miss this test. It was the easiest test. We just needed to write the plural forms of these words. Let's review it all together then. Let's quickly review it. Let me change. So the first word was potato, and the plural form for it potatoes, and house, houses, photo, photos, desert spoons. It's a two-word noun. So we have here for spoons. For fish, it's an irregular. It doesn't change the form. It stays fish. And for video, it's also word ending with O preceding with vowel. So we had just S videos. Lorry, Y before after sorry consonant, so it changed lorries, IES, toy with vowel, so it doesn't change. We had just S toys. Calf, F at the end, so it becomes calves. Wolf, F at the end, it becomes wolves. Zoo, double O, we just add S, zoos. Fishing rod, adjective plus noun, so we add S to the noun rods. Fox, it's irregular, so we add foxes. Oh, it's not irregular, sorry, it's X at the end, so because of that, foxes. Child is irregular, so it becomes children. Trot, it's irregular, so it stays the same. And loose, it's like mouse, it's irregular, it becomes lice. Teacher, teachers. Baby, Y at the end, so it changes, babies. Workman, it's irregular. Man becomes men, so it becomes workman. Ship, ships, it changes. Boyfriend, it's two-word noun, compound noun, so because of that, boyfriends. Mother-in-law, this is interesting case. Here we have two words and a preposition. So in this situation, we add, if you remember, s, the suffix to the first noun. So mothers-in-law. And another case is stepmother. Here we have two words, but they are split together. So because of that, we end at the end, stepmothers. Type, we just add s because there is e. Stereo, O, but before that it's a vowel, so we add just S, stereos. Mosquito, there are actually two variants. We can write mosquitoes or mosquitoes. Both of them are correct in this situation. Superstar, we add just S. Story, Y, so it changes. Fly over, it's a verb plus preposition, so because of that we just add s. And the last one is bunch, ch. After that we add es. You have finished the test, nice, but I have told the answers already. Let's review. Oh, nice. Most of you have taken the test. Then I hope we can use the answers at the end. Okay, guys, now if everybody has finished, now let's move on. And nice. I see your results, not bad results. So you can see your answers and have the feedback. So what's the problem with lorries? What is the lorry? Okay, I saw, who was that? Sorry, lorries. Yerganat and Amirali asked about lorries. That was a typo. I have corrected that one, and your score will change. So don't worry about that. Okay, guys, now let's move on. Let's move on and continue with countable and uncountable nouns. I think that most of you are familiar with this topic, but again, we're going to review, and some of you might not be happy about reviewing, but believe me, even if you go to 9th grade and even 10th grade, you are still going to review these topics, but more deeper. Okay, so now first of all, I think all of you know that the name and the difference between countable and uncountable nouns comes from the name. So count. What does it mean? Count with 1, 2, 3, 4. If we can count those things, those nouns with numbers, with cardinal numbers, then they are countable. If we cannot count them with cardinal numbers, then those are uncountable logically. But not everything is so clear. You will see that there are some features and peculiarities that we are going to study today. So uncountable nouns generally come singular, and countable nouns can be used in plural and singular both. And sometimes there are also exceptions, by the way. So with uncountable nouns, we cannot use articles an, some, any, no, much, because they show the quantity. An example can be, luggage is obtained from the luggage reclaim area. Can I have some bread? So in this situation, luggage and bread are uncountable. But there are cases when a relief, a pity, a shame, a wonder, a knowledge of something can be used with an article, with indefinite article a relief, a pity, a shame. What a shame. In this situation, we mean what a shame about a situation. So because of that, we use an article with it. So now let's move on to uncountable nouns. So here are some category of nouns of where we which come in uncountable form. So first of all, it's mass nouns. So for example, fluids, solids, gas, and participles can be beer, water, bread, butter, oxygen, etc. Subjects of study at school, for example, or university can be history, literature, physics, chemistry, and others. Languages, Spanish, French, Japanese, Italian, Chinese, Kazakh. Games like baseball, billiards. Please look at the billiards. It's again, anyway, it's uncountable. Football, golf, darts, rugby. Disease, flu, pneumonia, mumps, tuberculosis, and etc. Natural phenomena, which comes from nature, darkness, fog, gravity, and some nouns like accommodation. So the previous ones were some categories of words. If you know those categories, that the word goes into that category, so you can know that it's an uncountable noun. So use it in singular always. And some nouns, here you see the list, like accommodation, advice, anger, applause, assistance, they are also uncountable. And some collective nouns like baggage, crockery, furniture, jewelry, luggage are also uncountable. And one thing that we should keep in mind, it's the expressions of duration, distance, and money. When we mean not exactly the money, but amount. That, for example, there is a big amount for something. A whole amount is given in this book. We use a singular verb. For example, 2 months was too long to spend in hospital. We can say about our situation, 2 months in lockdown was a too long period to spend at home, to stay at home. So, and also it's possible to make those uncountable nouns countable using some words, special nouns, giving some feature of measurement. This can be, for example, for a paper. It can be a piece of paper, a piece of information, a piece of advice, a piece of furniture. And don't continue the line with piece. It can be a glass, a bottle for liquids, for water, for juice. It can be a jar of jam. It can be boxes. It can be packets. It can be slices. It can be a pot. It can be a kilo. It can be meters. It can be for a time. It's seconds, minutes, and hours. It can be cubes, bags, and also for money. It can be currencies, for example, tenges. You know that money are uncountable, but currencies are countable. All the measurements make uncountable nouns countable. So, are any questions about countable and uncountable nouns? Okay, thank you. Then let's move on for plural nouns. You know that there are some nouns which always come in plural form. So the verbs which we use with them also define from it. So first of all, objects consisting of two parts. For example, garments, trousers, pajamas. There can be some kind of, for garments it's clothes. For instruments, it can be compasses, tools like scissors, and etc. And also there are another phrases, we can say, or words like arms, ashes, barracks, clothes, congratulations, earnings, good looks or good looks for especially ladies, outskirts, people, police, premises, riches, stairs, surroundings, wages, etc. Are always plural. And there are also groups of nouns which come in singular but may also be used with singular or plural verbs. It depends whether we see that group as a whole or as an individual. For example, the staff of the company works really hard to increase production. So here we see that singular verb works was used. The staff works. So in this situation, the staff is considered as individuals or as groups, sorry. And the second situation, the staff were given a bonus at Christmas. It means that each member of the staff, separately as individual, was given a present. So here is the peculiarity which we should keep in mind when we talk about plural nouns which are always plural and group nouns. And the last thing, also a peculiarity which we should keep in mind, is about how the same word used in singular and plural gives completely different meaning. We're not going to look at all examples, but let's take few. For example, give me a glass of water, please. So in this situation, when we talk about a glass, we think we can say like a cup. I've been wearing glasses since I was 8 years ago. In this situation, glasses, it's a plural form of glasses, but we can understand that it's completely another thing. Has she always had short hair? In this situation, hair means like hairstyle. There are so many hairs in the sink. For example, somebody was washing their hair, so some hair is left in the sink. So now we are done with the uh, plurals. If you have any question, please. Guys, please stop spamming in the chat. If there are no questions, let's quickly take, it's also an easy test. Let me check that there are no problems. So here is everything is okay. This test seems okay, so now I'm sending you the link. I hope there won't be any problems. Before you go to the break, let's take it. Once you finish the test, you may go to the break, guys. 7 minutes, and then we start the second session a bit later for a few minutes. Please stop writing in the chat and take the test. By the way, could you say any problems about the test? About writing? Can you write the test? Can you hear me now? Sorry, guys. So I reviewed the questions, the most questions. Let me quickly say them again. So here are the most 5 questions that most of you missed. The first one was about the news. However, news stands with S looks like plural, it's singular. News was interesting. In order to make news plural, we can use a piece of news or something like that. The second question was 20 years. Years missed. 20 years, when we said about the whole time, we mean that is used in singular. 20 years is a long time to spend in prison. And some of you write the full sentence. If you have written full sentence but it was counted by the system as incorrect, don't worry, you know that you answered correctly. The next one is pajamas and trousers. Guys, we told that trousers and pajama garments, they come in pairs or have 2 parts. So because of that, they are plural. My favorite pajamas are, your trousers go. And the good looks, we said this comes with plural. So because of that, good looks are all you need to be a model. So we did it on the end of the lesson. So now let's move on to the next topic. We have still a lot to do. So our next topic is word formation, and exactly we're going to look at the noun formation from adjectives and verbs. First of all, and formation of people who do something using suffixes ar, er, or, and ee to the end of the verbs, or ies, ien to the end of the nouns, and making any changes necessary to make, we can say, like occupations. For example, employ, employee, lie, liar, drive, driver, act, and actor. You will need this especially for your IELTS, because there is one criteria in IELTS, like word repetition. In order to avoid word repetition, you better use use another form of the word. You may say the person who plays music, and in the next sentence you may explain like musician in this way. So it will be for sure helpful for you. The next type is nouns can be formed from verbs, not only to make people, but also about different notions. If you remember, we said at the beginning of our session today, nouns are very important for academic language, especially in English. So here are some suffix which make nouns like drainage, reference, analysis, proposal, protection, repetition, hindrance, employment, injury, decision, investigation. If you know what part of speech the word is, again about IELTS, you can predict the answer. When you will become older, and especially at the 10th grade, you will look at the IELTS questions. Knowing the part of speech will surely help you. And the next type is when nouns are formed from adjectives. Some suffixes are similar So, like arrogance, fluency, patience, desperation, loneliness, familiarity, contentment, anxiety, and honesty. So, these here are the full picture now. Please have a minute to review them. Then will take our third test and review the answers. Before that, I will show the rating at the end. Now, please, I think I missed something. Yes, 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 yes. Here is the picture. Sorry, guys. This is my first time making such an. This is my first experience of making an online conference like this. I have to accept that I need to improve in this way. Yes, this was the slide that I was showing you about word formation. Please just have a look in these suffixes. Then we will take the test. Hopefully you could hear me, but you didn't see the presentation. Now I am reviewing the exam, so there are no mistakes, so you can do it properly. Once I review it, I will send you the link. Okay, this test includes photos, questions, so it might take some time to download the photos. So let's give 10 minutes to do this test. Guys, please, boys especially, stop spamming in the chat. No, we still have our third session as usual. I've sent the link to the test. Guys, please take it. Yes, a small test. Guys, they look like the same, but if you look at the numbers for lines, then you will see that they are not the same. Guys, I see that not all of you have finished the test yet. Let's give you some more time. I think that you found this exercise a bit challenging. If you need to look at the suffixes again, I've put them on the presentation so you can switch back to the presentation and take the test. Come on, guys, I think we need to move. Is there anybody who is about to finish? So we are waiting for a minute, then we continue. There are almost 50 people who passed the test. Okay, if you don't understand, it's not a problem. Here we are to learn something. I'll be really happy if you learn today something. Okay, now I'm moving to the text, to the test. And here is our exam questions. Guys, keep in mind the kind of the task will be, if I'm not mistaken, in grade 9 and grade 10, regional, even sometimes Republican Olympiads. You will be given to put the words in correct form. It can be in this situation, all of them are nouns, but there will be in your Olympiad will be a situation when you will need to put them not only in nouns. There can be nouns, verbs, adjectives, and sometimes adverbs of the given word. So we should practice more on this. So now let's read the text all together and see the answers. I'll try to review most of the cases. So Greek composer offer us a unique interpretation, which you didn't need to write, interpretation of the world around us. Achieving this takes both inspiration and a degree of commitment that few of us possess. Shut away in the privacy of their studios, free from the distraction of day-to-day concerns, they strive for the perfect expression of what they know and feel. Here I think for 6, many of you are surprised why the word recognition usually comes slowly is not counted as correct, because the word recognition comes at the beginning of the sentence, so it should be written with capital letter. Recognition usually comes slowly, and being oversensitive to criticism may lead to discouragement. On the other hand, enthusiastic praise from critics and the public can relieve the composer's isolation and bring him or her a degree of satisfaction that few but creative artists ever experience. Okay, let me check the answers then. So inspiration was the first question. It seems inspiration. I think everything is okay with the answer. I can look at your answer, who was asking the question. Mavluda. Okay, let's review Mavluda and Amirali. Amirali, you put a space before writing inspiration. Let me find Mavluda. So guys, with the exam everything is okay. Mavluda, you wrote numbers before answers. Your answers, most of your answers are correct, but you put numbers. You didn't need to do that. Yeah, if you write just the answer, guys, you know that because of the system, some of your answers are not counted. We have to bear that. I cannot do anything at this moment. If you put numbers, if you looked at the description, please, here look, I put the description. please type in your answer. You type in your answers without any extra symbols or spaces. So this is very important because the system checks it. By the way, for the final, guys, there will be another platform used. Maybe today, if Yernar teacher, Mr. Yernar, will be available, he will explain it in the third section. If not, then tomorrow we are going to use another platform for the test, so you get used to it. Yeah, and your final also will be checked by people. So the system will check it, and also the teachers will check your answers. So for the final, you may not worry, guys. Yes, Numetullah, thank you. Thank you very much. So, any questions, guys, about word formation? Okay, nice. Then let's move on. Actually, we finished a bit earlier than we were planning to. The now next topic that we are going to discuss today is definite and indefinite articles. I hope you can hear the slide articles, indefinite and definite articles, and can you hear me? Okay, nice. Thank you. Good, yeah. I better check before we start because, we had some problems at the beginning of the previous lesson. So now I move on to the slide and might miss some of your comments. So now I will try to explain the topic, then I will read your comments. So articles, you know that they are divided into two big categories like indefinite and definite articles. And when we were studying at university, you know that one of the topics which we allotted a huge time. We spent half a year studying just articles. It's a huge topic which never ends. And when you will go to ninth grade, you will study that there are so many exceptions. And today we'll try to make as clear as possible to to some kind of formulate your understanding of, or strengthen, let's like say like this, strengthen your understanding of articles. So let's first start with the indefinite article. Let's use this term. So we use indefinite articles, an, with singular countable nouns. Look, this is important remark, because I see many students, especially higher grades which still make mistakes with this, and sometimes, unfortunately, Olympiad students. Indefinite article we use with singular countable nouns to talk about indefinite things. For example, there is a man standing at the door. So a man, we don't know, it's just indefinite person, somebody. And so we can use some in the affirmative with plural nouns or uncountable nouns, and any in questions and negativeness. There are some people at the bus stop. So there is a people, there is a person, or there are some people. So instead of indefinite article an, we can use some. And give me some milk, please. So in this situation, some is used with uncountable nouns. And are there any cups in the cupboard? So any cups, this is countable, but this is an interrogative sentence. So because of that, we use any, and there isn't any sugar left. So here it is a negative sentence, so we use any with uncountable or even countable nouns. So another meaning, where another case when we use indefinite article an is the meaning of per. He goes to the gym twice a week or twice per week. Or with money, a pound, 1 pound can be per pound sometimes, so instead of per. Fractions, you study math and other subject in English, you should know this. A quarter, 1/3, it is a 1/4 is a quarter. Or a third can be, and so on and so forth. Weight, measures, a meter. Whole numbers, I think you know what are whole numbers. 100, 1,000, a billion, a million. Whole numbers can be used with a instead of 1, as you see. For prices, 2 pounds a kilo. For example, if you go to a groceries and you want to buy some, I don't know, berries, you have to pay 2,000 tenge a kilo, or per kilo, also you can say. For frequency and time, 3 times a week, 3 times per week, again you can change it for per, so they are interchangeable with per sometimes. For distances and fuel, 60 miles a gallon. Your fathers probably, and maybe boys, gentlemen, know that when you measure how much your car consumes the fuel, you say about 10 liters, and we say 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Like in this situation, it's American version, 60 miles a gallon. For a distance or speed, 60 kilometers per hour. For example, you can run 10 kilometers an hour. And illnesses, a fever, a cold, a toothache, a backache. In these situations, also you can use indefinite article an. Now let's move on to the definite article, the. The is used with singular and plural nouns. Look, generally maybe you knew that the is used only with singular. No, it can be used with singular, plural, countable, and uncountable nouns. To talk about something specific, or when the noun is mentioned for the second time. Can I try on the blue dress, please? So you are in a shop or in a shopping mall and you ask, can I try on the blue dress? So you exactly know which specific dress you want to try on. Which dress? The blue one, specifically said. There was a rat in the kitchen. There was a rat in the kitchen. I killed the rat with my boot. So in the first sentence, there was a random rat. And in the second sentence, we mean we killed the specific rat with the boot. But please do not, if you see a rat, not a mouse, do not try to kill it. They can be really dangerous. And articles, indefinite article an or indefinite article the, they can be used before singular countable nouns to refer to a group of people, animals, or things. Like a dolphin lives in the sea, or the dolphins live in the sea. We mean all dolphins, a group of dolphins. An, the is never used before a noun in the plural when it represents a group. Look, dolphins are intelligent animals. Not the dolphins are intelligent animals. But in the future, you will see some peculiarities of using the, especially with plurals, but we are not going to consider it today. So, now it's the break time. We're not going to continue with the next part. Yes, I see the break time. Most of you wish that. Let's have our 10-minute dessert break time. Then let's return back at 12. Okay, it's already 12. I see that some people are still having the break because only just above the half of us. I see the people are returning back. So we are Kazakh, so let's wait a minute as usual. Okay, let's slowly begin. Others will come and join us. So, at the end of the previous lesson, we have studied the general rules for definite and indefinite articles. So now we are going to study some specific rules, but again, we are going to study the rules, not the exceptions. Exceptions is for the next year, guys. So let's move on. So we are going to look at the cases when definite article the is used, and after that we are going to study when the is omitted. So first of all, the is used before nouns which are unique. There is only one. For example, the earth, the Coliseum, the sun, the moon, the president, and so on and so forth, like this. Next, the name of the cinemas, the plaza, hotels, the theaters, museums, newspapers, magazines, ships, institutions, and galleries. But look at about the newspapers. It's the independent but time. You should remember this. A small exception. Next group is names of rivers, the Nile, seas, the Black Sea, groups of islands and states, Shetland Islands, the USA, mountain ranges, the Himalayas, desert, the Sahara Desert, oceans, canals, the names of nouns with of. This is interesting, look. The Valley of the Kings, the Garden of the Gethsemane. Also, the names of the countries, if there are, when they include more than 2-3 words with of, then we use the Republic of Kazakhstan or other cases. Look, note, but the equator, the Arctic, the Antarctica. Normally, for example, Antarctica, it is a part of Earth, but for Europe, for Asia, we don't use it, but for Antarctica, we use. The south of France, the parts of countries, you see, the south, the west, the north, the east. For them, we use the. Next group are musical instruments and dances. The piano, the samba. Now comes names of families, the Hunters, the Omarovs, and nationalities ending in SH, CH, or ESE, for example, the English, the Dutch, the Japanese. Other, what's interesting, plural nationalities are used with or without the North Americans or just North Americans, the Austrians or the Austrians. So there is not that big difference. It's the topic again for the next year. Adjectives used as plural nouns. The young, the unemployed, the homeless, the blind are used with the. And superlative degree of adjectives. I think all of you know this. Not only adjectives, but also adverbs. The most friendly, the most interesting, the most stupid, or something like that. Titles, for example, the king, the patriarch, the Duchess of Windsor. The days about the days omitted before titles with proper names. King Carlos, Queen Elizabeth. Not the Queen, but Queen Elizabeth. And if I'm not mistaken, the last group, most is used as determiner followed by a noun, doesn't take the. Most people. In this situation, most determines the amount of people, like majority. So because of that, we don't say the most people. It's not like in comparative in superlative adjectives or adverbs. But look at the again. Of all European countries, Greece has the most ancient monuments. Ancient here is adjective, because of that we use the most. Most people here, it's people is noun, and we don't use with them. So we should know the difference between them. So as you could see, today we are studying one of the biggest parts of speech in English. Out of 4 nouns, the others are verbs, adverbs, and adjectives. And there are some words which are also used with the beach, the cinema, the city, coast, country, use the. And these words, she went to the library to return some books. And also, the is optional, so you may use and you may not use as you wish. You don't have to. For the seasons, the summer. The parts of day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, I used with definite article. But we also use, when we say the explicit time of the day, we generally don't use. At night, at noon, at midnight, by day, by night, at 4 o'clock. So historical references or events, the Russian Revolution, the Renaissance, the Cold War. We use the, but with Second World War or World War II, we don't use the. And with adjectives, when these words are given as adjectives, only last first. He was the first person to arrive. We use the. So this was the category when we use the before certain words and nouns, especially. Now we move on to the next part where the is omitted, so we don't use the. So the first group is proper nouns. If you remember from the first Session. Proper nouns are names of, I don't know, days of the week, of people, of countries. I will see and tomorrow. With the names of sports, games, activities, days, months, holidays, colors, drinks, meals, languages, we don't use the. He plays football. He likes red. Let me quickly check the chat. What is going on? What is the difference between? You will ask the question. I will ask the questions a bit later. Now let's move on. Names of countries. England. But here are some examples. The Argentina, the Netherlands. The Sudan is optional. The Hague, the Vatican City. Cities, London, we generally don't use articles. Streets, but there are some special streets where we use the High Street, the Strand, the Mall, the A11, the M4 motorway. Squares, we generally don't use. The bridges, we don't use, but there are always exceptions. The Bridge of Sai, the Fourth Bridge, the Seventh Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. Parks, we don't use articles. Stations, we don't use. Individual mountains, Kilimanjaro, Altai, something like that. Islands, Sicily. Lakes and continents. You remember the Antarctica? It's a continent, but we use it. Normally with continents, we don't use articles there. Possessive adjectives. With possessive, if you remember, we never use articles. That isn't your pen. We don't say that isn't the pen. However, it's specific. According to the rules, we have to use it. But no, there is another rule with possessive adjectives. We don't use the. Two-word names whose first word is the name of a person or place. John F. Kennedy Airport, Windsor Castle. So in these situations, we normally don't use Nursultan Nazarbayev Airport. But the White House. White is not the name of the person, so because of place. So because of that, we use the White House. It's a color. Next group is some words, which include bed, church, college, court, hospital, prison, school, university, and when we refer to the purpose for which they exist. For example, bed is what? For sleeping. Church for praying. College for studying. Court for judging, for suing. Hospital for curing. Prison for jailing. School for studying. University again for studying. When we mean for the purpose of their existence, then we don't use. John went to hospital, not to the hospital. He's a patient. But his mother went to the hospital to see him last week. In the second situation, to the hospital, we mean the building of the hospital. So she is not a patient. She went to the hospital as a visitor, yes. And work also, a place of work. Not a building, but when we mean a place of work, we don't use the. She's at work. I am at work at the moment. And some words. The word home, father and mother. When we talk about our own parents or home, we don't use the. Father is at home. Even in many languages, we have something like this. Even in Kazakh, Russian, or Turkish, we have such thing. There are no articles, but when we talk about something our own, we don't specify. You can say, I'm at Lyceum. And everybody will understand, your friends, that you are at your Lyceum. Next is the means of transport. So then by bus, by car, by plane. When we say by, so we use, we don't put the. But when we say that we are in space, for example, in the car, on the bus, on train, we put the. So we should differ the meaning. What do person wants to say? Does he just mean the as a means of transport or in a space? For example, he is hiding in the car. Probably he is in the car not to travel. So next group. We say about diseases. Do you remember? Flu or the flu? So both variants are popular, but it's not that some peculiarities about diseases. We should just remember them. Before going to the test, yes, it will be saved. Okay. Yes, we are going to have the test a bit later. There was a question about the difference between A and N. Look, Mavluda answered him, but there is very interesting point to mention about A and Z. Some people may not know it. For example, if we take the word university, if you take the word university, what indefinite article do we use with the word university? Nice. Any other suggestions? Good. Good. Okay. I don't remember who asked this question, but thank you very much for this question. I would miss this point. Look, guys. Okay, thank you. I got all your answers. Look, the word university, or let's take another word. What about our? Do we put A or N with our? Again, some an hour, many people say here. Okay, good, guys. Thank you for your comments. Now, when we talk about indefinite article an, most of you know it as like we use with vowels and with consonants. For example, with if the word starts with vowel, we use N. If the word starts with consonant, we use A. But again, university, we see that first letter is U. But when we put articles, we should look not at the letters, but at the sounds. So we should look at the transcription. If you open the dictionary, any dictionary, the word university, I will try to transcribe it. It will look Where is it's here. It will look like this. So the first sound, as you see, it's y. So because of that, it will be university, a university. For our, it will be something like this. So it will be an hour. We don't look at the letter. Let's look at the sounds, guys. Yes, an hour, a university. I see that somebody is spamming. Probably I will need to ban them. Yes. We cannot tolerate such behavior. And here are ladies, guys, you should be able to behave well, especially when there are ladies. No, they can listen to the lesson. It's their right. I have just banned them. So, thank you. I again don't remember who asked this question. Again, so now it's the questions about articles. Do you have any other questions, please, guys? Okay, I see your responses. If we don't have any more questions, again, I want to express my gratitude to the person who asked the question about AN. And now we shall move to last test. The test will be about articles. Yes, it's last test. Let me quickly review the test so we don't have any problems with it. Okay, when you talk about exact so we have some questions. Let's answer the questions, then we'll move to the test. Yes, who said that? We just have to learn. Yerganat. We have to learn by heart the rules, and we have to learn by heart some words. There is no other choice. We have to know them. And also, what I would like to add, we should study a little bit some geography. It will be useful. Questions? Other questions? Karina asked again, why an hour? Because hour, look, the letter H, it is silent. So because it's silent, the first sound is ah. And we, because it's vowel sound, before that we add an hour. Yeah, Alihan, we should better look at the transcription. Yeah, it's difficult to remember, but there is nothing easier, Ghanat. Hour with n is not exception, guys. It is a rule. The rule of using indefinite article is that we need to look at the sound, not letters. So that's the rule. When you talk about exact dog. Mavluda, I didn't get your question. No, I am answering the questions at the moment about articles. So after that, I will send the test. Mavluda, you asked something about the dog. Okay, sorry. Yeah, don't worry, guys. We still have about half an hour. So we are not late. Everything is okay. Okay, those who asking the questions, yes, you may watch the video later again and get your answer to the questions. Interesting. Eyebrows. Thank you. Guys, please be patient. I need to review the test so we don't have any problems. Okay, guys, I'm sending the link to the test. Uh, let's spend 10 minutes to do this test. Uh, why 10 minutes? Because this test again includes the pictures. There are questions, and for each question there is a number. Please don't make the mistakes that you did during the previous one. Answer each test separately, but be careful in the space where we need to use lowercase or uppercase. Pay attention to it, and don't put any extra symbols or spaces. So here's the link for the test. Good luck, guys. Okay, guys, I don't want to ban you again. Please do not distract others from the lesson. Okay, it's up to them to watch or not to. If they don't want to get the feedback from the lesson, it's up to them. But anyway, it would be more beneficial for them to have it. Okay, guys, please do not switch to any other language. Or you don't need to write your results. It's personal. It might be personal. We will pass to question and answer section a bit later, Alihan. You can contact me personally if you wish. So now I think it's time to close the accepting the answers. So let's see our leaderboard. Wait a little bit. Let's have our so this is our leaderboard, guys. Now it will turn on. Who did really well during our today's session? I don't want to, that specify somebody because there was some students who misunderstood the system at the beginning and their answers were not accepted. But my congratulations who did well. I hope you understood something and learned something new. And it will be beneficial during your exams, not only for KBO final, but in the future. I hope all of you will get good places during regional and state Olympiads. Yes, Asanari, but anyway, you need to pay attention. During the Olympics, you cannot appeal on such things. If you made such a mistake, then they will not give you points. By the way, we didn't review the answers. I think that all of you got the answers, and the only thing that was the problem that using upper and lower case, capital letters. If it's in the beginning of the sentence, you need to use the capital letter. If your name is not still there, I think if you try a bit, you can do it. This was the leaderboard for all tests. There are some guys here also. They showed almost over 95%, 95% during the exam. Here are these people. So now, please, it's time for Q&A session. Yes, 3 minutes to lunch time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. It can be about the session, it can be general. Okay, let me check, Aisha. Uh, Aisha, I used the filters and it took your result. I haven't changed anything. I didn't make any alteration to the results. You can type personally later, so we can review it. Okay, if there are no questions, guys, thank you for attending. I apologize for the inconvenience because of my fault, my bad. I will try to improve the next time. Uh, what should you do during the self study time? Uh, you you should have the book FCE Use of English 1 student's book, and the topics that we consider today are Unit 9, and you should revise the topic. And there are some exercises because we weren't physically, it wasn't physically possible to review all the exercises. You can do some more practice there. Yes, if no questions, goodbye. Enjoy your lunch, guys. See you. See you during the offline camps. I'm not sure. Your tomorrow's teacher probably will be Mr. Ayan. For YouTube, you could use British Council channel for learning English. There are a lot of branches of uh, in that channel, in British English channel. Also, they have subtitles. You can use those. Saltanat, I will ask our administrator to send the links for the lessons, because as I know, the YouTube will upload these streams later on. What can I type, Yerganat? Azad, there are some tests to take. You can take any proficiency test, English proficiency test, to check your level. I think there are also several available online. One of the most popular is Duolingo at the moment, because you cannot take offline tests at the moment. You can take online tests at home. You can take free tests. You can download Duolingo application and use that. Sorry, I said Azad probably is your surname, Medina, yeah? Okay, never mind. I hope it's useful. I teach at Yekibastuz Bilim Innovation School. Actually, it's not Bilim Innovation School, but Yekibastuz, how it's Yekibastuz School. Thank you, Bekaris. You are so kind. Sorry, guys, there was some problems about it. If you have the next lesson, I will try to improve myself. Okay, guys, now I am turning off the stream then. Good luck on your Kabo finals. Have a nice day.